Alright, in this video we're going to go over the return statement. First thing I'm going to need to do, well, it's actually not necessary, but I'm going to do it in my program, is import java.util.star, and then I need to set the main method up to where I can actually call other methods. Joey equals new return statement. Alright, so now let's go down here. And we'll say public void get number. So we've created a new method called getNumber. Alright, let's get a number from the user. So we need to import a scanner. Scanner input equals new scanner system.in. And we'll tell the user to enter a integer. And we'll say num is that integer. So int num equals input.next int. Alright, so that's good for now. Then we need to create a new method. We'll call that new method even or odd one, and we'll give it a return type of string, which I'll explain here in just a minute. Even or odd one. Okay, so return type is whenever this method is called, it is going to return a string, which I'll either type out as even or odd. So, it needs to take in the num from up here. So int num, which I don't really have to call it num down here, but I'm going to for simplicity's sake. I try to do that with most of my programs. So, I need to find out if it's even or odd. So I'll declare a new integer, x equals num divided by 2. So if num is equal to x times 2, we know that this is going to be an even integer. So return even, else we need to return odd. So I could have typed in anything I wanted there, but even and odd I think are simple enough to understand. So let's see, even or odd 1. Alright, so inside here, I can call this other method the even or odd one. So I tell it to print even or odd 1, and it needs to take in num. Oh, and then I need to call the getNumber method from the main, so joey.getNumber. So if I run this, I will be able to put in a integer, say 78, and it'll tell me even. Or if I run it again, let's go 65, it will tell me that the integer is odd, or just typed out odd, but I could have made it type out the integer is odd. Just seemed like too much work. So I can return more than just strings. I can also return booleans. So let's see. I'll create a new method for that. Public boolean even or odd 2. It needs to take in that same number. So let's see. I'll just do this the same way. Int x equals num divided by 2. So if num is equal to x times 2, we'll say return true. We'll say true is even and false is odd. So else return false. And we could have done that either way. There is no good reason to make even true and false odd. That's just how I prefer to do it. Return false. So I'll put a comment here saying num is even. and one here saying num is odd. So let's see, true is even, false is true is even, and we'll say false is odd. And then we'll tell it to print out num is, let's put a space there, plus, and then we call this method down here even or odd too, and we'll send in num. So this will either print out true or false depending on even or odd. So let's see, I'll try with an even integer, 78. Num is true, which is even, and I'll do it with an odd one. Num is false. Also, the next example, because I think this one's getting kind of long, we'll do the same thing except we'll return a integer. If you want to, you can. You probably know enough to figure that out for yourself. So if you want to get a little thinking practice, try to return an integer instead of a Boolean or string, or try to return just a single character. As if you like this button, hit like below, and thanks for watching.